Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about the best way to say no. I wanted to do this video because I do receive a lot of questions on how to say no, and this does fall in line with how to set boundaries and how to just take care of ourselves to make sure that we're protective of our boundaries, what feels right within ourselves, and that we're really honoring what we know deep down is going to let us be the best version of ourselves. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video weekly. So let's get started in sharing three things to keep in mind when you are saying no. Of course, you're first kind of checking in to make sure that you're clear on your answer, because what can often happen is we will say yes to something just because we're so used to doing so. We're used to saying, oh, sure, I can do that. And then later we recognize, oh, that actually doesn't feel good to me. That's not something that I was lined up with. And so we want to create the opportunity to check in with ourselves and really see if what we're about to say yes to really makes sense for us, and if it really feels like a yes on the inside. Of course, indicators of something feeling like a yes, or it just feels expansive, it feels open, it feels light, it feels effortless, or if it's something that is difficult but you know is good for you, you're able to kind of connect to those emotions within and sort of see that while you may not want to do it immediately, you know that it's for your greater good and it's something necessary for you to progress, grow, and get to where you want to be. So really being able to connect to those emotions inside of yourself when responding to something. And then paying attention when it's the opposite, if it feels heavy, if it feels obligatory, if it just feels like it's got this darkness to it or this contracted energy to it where you just know that you're not going to feel good if you say yes to it. Being able to recognize those emotions, because that is your intuition kicking in, being able to say, you know, I have to honor this, loving ourselves enough to get through the immediate discomfort our response may create, but being able to see what's on the other side of it, which is us feeling good, us being protective of ourselves, of our energy, of good self-care, love for ourselves, and being able to really be of the quality that we want to be in. And if we say yes to a bunch of things when we mean no, that's not going to be something that's possible. So let's talk about some ways in which to say no. If there ever is a proper way to say no, I think it's to keep it really short and sweet. One sentence. Thank you, but I can't. No, thank you. I'm not able to do that. I really appreciate the offer, yet I don't think that that's going to work for me next week, or that's not going to work for me next week. Being able to just speak to the immediate feeling inside without going into depth with explanation, because that's one of the things that we tend to do. We go into over explaining. Oh, I can't because I have this and because I have that. We feel like we need to justify it. So we're just giving a big backstory, or we're asking for them to please understand, please don't be mad, because we're energetically conveying that we're scared of them being upset, or we're scared of their processing skills, or if they're going to be able to hear it, or if we're still going to be liked and loved and accepted. And so we really want to be mindful that we're staying with our own emotional experience, and we do it with a level of kindness and respect for the other person, of course, but we're firm with it. If they continue to push that boundary, or they continue to push on something that you know doesn't feel right or good to you, you're not starting to give more and more information or get caught in that same energy. You're just simply honoring what your previous answer was. No, I understand what you're saying, yet I have to take a pass on this, or I'm not able to do that. Thank you for asking. I hear you, and I understand that you really want me to do X, yet that doesn't feel right for me. Thank you for respecting that. You're really in a position where you're allowing your emotions and your experience to take the lead. This is really just the essence of putting ourselves first, because if we are giving from an empty cup, it doesn't feel good, and it depletes our energy, and it makes us at a much lower quality than what we would otherwise be if we were really taking good care of ourselves and making what feels right and good within us a priority. So if you've struggled to say no in your life, and this is something you're beginning to tap into, just kind of notice the sneaky ways in which I shared and how that can creep in. Because the idea of over-explaining especially, it's just sort of an indicator of maybe our nervous system being a little too revved up in a given situation. And so when we can kind of catch that overdoing it or over justifying or over detailed explanation, we can just gently and lovingly let ourselves know that we're okay and that we can give just the answer that we need to give and not kind of get lost in the weeds with it. And over time, this practice will become more and more natural. And this just goes hand in hand with boundaries, in the sense that we do have to teach others how to treat us, and we set the tone. And so when we honor our no, and when we really can be with ourselves in that way, other people respect it. They don't push, because they can intuitively sense that we know where our boundaries are, we know how to maintain our center, and we're not going to do things just because they are going to have a certain emotional experience or reaction to it. And so this is how, over time, we really develop and embrace those personal boundaries, and we teach others how to treat us as a result of that. So I hope that this is so valuable to you if this is an area that you personally struggle with or that you're working on in your life. And if it's a little awkward to you in the beginning, it's okay. It will become more and more natural the more you practice doing it, and the more you practice staying in your side of the lane and honoring your own emotional experience. I'm wishing you all the best week. I want to let you know that I did open the doors to my Attract Him Forever group coaching program. I would love for you to check out the details of the program in the link below, and to join us if it feels like something that inspires you to really explore in your own life. So feel free to check out the link below, or go to jenmichellecoaching.com for my additional offerings and resources. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk with you all soon. Bye.